Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Niners Radio 49ers Live tonight in a Championship Sunday edition wrap up with yours truly, Professor B from Niners Radio 49 here at our satellite digital media studios here in San Francisco. The games has just ended, and the NFC Championship, a classic game, has just ended as the Seattle Seahawks has punched their ticket to Super 60. They punched their ticket to the city of the Bay. It was with the Seahawks winning the rubber match of the three-game series over the Los Angeles Rams up at Lumen Field in Seattle. 31-27 the final score. So that means with the win, it's going to be the Rams, or I should say the Seahawks and the Denver Broncos, a rematch of Super Bowl 49 11 years ago. This time will be at the last time those two teams met. It was down in the desert in Arizona, down at Glendale. This time the rematch will be at the Mecca at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. So we're going to recap the game. My special guest on 49ers Live tonight on the Satellite Digital Media News Network, born and raised Bay Area, longtime Dallas Cowboy fan. He and a George Washington High School graduate for the class of 1984. I've known him for about 45 years, since I was like 4 years old. The myth, the legend, Stafford Primetime Parker. Staff.
Professor B, what's up, man? Nice to see you again. Nice to talk to you. And thank you for having me on here.
It's been a while. It's been a while, quite some time, Staff. We rarely had a podcast. You on my podcast for the first time. We had one back in the early mid 2000s, during those years when the Niners were in a rebuilding phase. But
when you first started, B, that's when you first started. I remember you was like, you were so, I'm about doing this. I'm like, go ahead. I know you could do it. And look at you now. You're a superstar.
Yep. That's why I love doing this, working more remotely from home and remotely. I kind of like, I've been in this business now for what, 26, this is my 26th year as a broadcaster. Been doing the TV stuff for 32 years, or for 22 years. And after my wash baseball days, hung up the cleats, and then I couldn't do it no more up in the JC level at City. I kind of hung up the cleats and the bat and the ball and I trade my bat and ball and glove to a pawn shop in exchange for a microphone, become a broadcaster. So I trade my baseball gear for broadcaster gear at the nearby pawn shop. The spot is undisclosed, but made the great transition. USF baseball for 24 of those years. Unfortunately, things didn't work out because of the issues what happened with my baseball mentor, Nino Giarratano, and we're praying that one day he gets cleared for any wrongdoing. But I'm blessed to doing this as a broadcaster in front of the of my own network, man. Building like brick by brick. So let's talk about tonight's game. The game just ended. The late game. It was the Seahawks over the Rams. The Rams missed opportunity to win that game. The Seahawks got that ball back and they ran with a little under 5 minutes left to play. They ran out the clock, and the Rams never got the ball back. Your thoughts of the game, prime time?
My thoughts of the game was the punt returner. When he fell backwards, he didn't catch that ball. He was like, "Oh, where's the ball at?" And just fell right there on his chest. I used to play football. One rule: the ball hits you, you touch the ball, you're supposed to catch it, no matter what.
Yep.
I don't remember the guy's first name, but his last name was Smith. He couldn't hold on to it. I'm like, God damn it. But it's part of the game.
Yep.
The Rams
Special
did it
teams,
best.
special teams for special needs is the deciding factor of winning wins and losses. And that was something the 49ers had. That we'll talk about the Niners in a bit. That was one of the big improvements of the Niners this past year. Their special teams keep them in won a lot of games, in contrast of what happened with the special teams last year, why they only won 6 games in an injury-plagued season. But the Seahawks, hey, I mean, I've told a lot of people, and I will reiterate again, when the Seahawks had that little bit of a down cycle, mini rebuild, retool before they parted ways with Pete Carroll and then Mike McDonald, who was the Ravens defensive coordinator and was on that Monday night on Christmas night 2 years ago when Brock Purdy threw those 4 interceptions against that nasty physical Ravens defense. And I said, hey, the Seahawks weren't going to be down that long. And here they are, champions of the National Football Conference for the 3rd time in their history since moving to the NFC back in 2002, their 24th year in this conference. And people forget, staff, when we were growing up, the Seahawks were always in the AFC West in that very competitive division, battling with the Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, and the Chiefs. And we both, growing up, saw a lot of those games on TV when they had their clashes with the Broncos or with the Raiders back in the late 80s.
That's true. And people forget about, we talk about wide receivers, people forget about Steve Largent. People forget about quarterbacks like Dave Craig, who didn't have the best of offensive line, but he knew he had a receiver in Steve Largent who could catch the ball, run our routes properly, and do what he needed to do to make sure that the team wins.
Yep. Yep.
And then, but like, otherwise, defensive wise, it wasn't the best. The safety was best. Number 45, Kenny Elsley, that's his name.
Rest in peace. Yep. He was the Ryan Lott. He was the Ronnie Lott. He was the Ryan Lott for the He was
Seahawks.
Ryan Lott, the Seahawks. Yep.
Yeah, but like, Seattle has to learn how to fight and build a team up to get to the level where the Niners was at, where the Cowboys was at, and where the Bears was at.
Yeah. But you gotta look at the 90s. Yeah, Steve Largent was the Jerry Rice, because Steve Largent got all those touchdown receptions. Him, I think Charlie Joyner and Harold Carmichael before eventually Jerry Rice got all those records. And remember, Steve Largent caught his 100th career touchdown pass in his final season in the 89 season. And then he retired after the 89 season. 3 years later, Rice would get his 100th. He would surpass Steve Largent as the all-time touchdown receptions leader. He caught his 100th against the Philadelphia Eagles, the Ty Largent. He caught his 101st a week later against the Miami Dolphins in that monsoon storm at Candlestick Park. The pass up the great Largent. And then 2 years later, he was the all-time touchdown scorer of all time. And he would rewrite the books for the most touchdown receptions and score over 200 touchdowns. Remember, he had 23 touchdowns in the 1987 strike-shortened season, 23 touchdowns in only 12 games. He was a 2-time Offensive Player of the Year. should have been the MVP over John Elway in '87 in the season he had back in '87. Jerry Rice.
Well, back in the day, when they do MVP awards, it was based on quarterbacks only, mostly. And everything about defense alignment, offensive alignment, receivers, running backs, and defensive back. Nowadays, they see everybody's important, so everybody's in consideration for MVP. I believe if Larger and Wright or Mike Urban play right now in this league, they be turning everything up because they practice hard. They actually know how to catch the ball and hold on to it and don't let it get stripped from them. And understand the meaning about teamwork. Together, everyone achieves more. Like nowadays, you got a quarterback, all you worry about is running for yards, trying to get a touchdown. But if you try to get you got a wide receiver open, you won't pass the ball to them.
Hey, well, yeah. So I mean, what are your thoughts of Christian McCaffrey, the year he had, what he's had with since he's just completing now would be his now his third full season with the 49ers, what he has done in the last 3 full years. I mean, despite only playing 4 games last year with the Achilles injury, what do you think?
I wish Dallas Cowboys would have traded for him. He is a great running back. His dad taught him how to be a very good wide receiver. Remember, he
Remember
got a
his
little
daddy and
brother.
his daddy was a backup tight end with the 49ers and played on special teams on that Super Bowl winning team in 1994. People forget.
That's
And
stupid.
when
No, what though? When he went to Denver, he was an all-pro wide receiver because John Elway had him. John Elway trusted him, and he made it happen.
yeah, yeah.
But right now, I would say this: Christian McCaffrey has the potential to do a lot of things. All he needs is a good offensive line to keep him healthy,
Yeah.
and he needs to play for him to make sure he can do what he needs to do.
He's the best Niner back, all purpose back. He's right up there with Roger Craig in his prime. He was the NFL Offensive Player of the Year in '88. And Ricky Waters, which by the way, I finally got both Waters and Craig's jerseys. I'm hoping Craig gets inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Do you think
If
Craig's
he don't, Roger Craig, sorry, B, but Roger Craig don't get in the Hall of Fame. That is a catastrophe. So Roger Craig sets the standard for running back.
Yeah,
He got 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in 1 year. But wait, guess who else did it? Marshall
Marshall
Falk
Falk.
did it too.
Yep,
And guess what? He's in the Hall of Fame.
yep,
Why not Roger Craig in the Hall of Fame? But
exactly.
they might be hating on people from San Francisco.
It's all about politics, Stafford. Who people who don't cover the Niners in this region. But I've got to say, you back in the day did play some football at Washington, and can you think what player on Wash as a running back versatile would fit in Kyle Shanahan's offense at Wash back in the day?
Man, you asking, oh, wow. I've seen a lot of great running backs from Washington, including quarterbacks
Yep,
and wide receivers.
yep.
But I could say, damn, Riley, this is a hard question. I
I
would say,
said
maybe
drummer.
drummer. Yeah,
Drummer would
Drummer's
fit
a great
good in
running back.
Kyle's system.
Yeah.
Versus,
But hold on. Don't forget about this. Don't forget about these old school players. That when I was there, I seen play. D.B. Eltzler.
yep.
He was the running back that could lead, hit your ass hard and run away with the ball. Sorry for cursing, B. I know you don't like to curse on your
I don't
podcast.
mind the F. I
Uh,
mean, I don't mind the donkey, but F bombs and S bombs not okay.
RB, I will say drummer,
Yep.
Jovan, my boy Jovan, he was good.
JP, yeah.
Josh Anderson was good.
Yep.
Man, Nicky Jordan was good.
Yep.
I mean, I seen a lot of great running back. I watched, and when you watch them play, it was like a thing like getting the ball, they follow the lineman, but they make the plays on their own too.
Yeah,
And they would been great running backs in the NFL when given the proper chance.
yeah. So let's get back on the topic. The NFC. So we're going to talk about the AFC. So as we break down this game, Seahawks over the Rams, a great game. End up winning that game. The Seahawks will
The
advance
round
to
should have
the.
challenged that call.
Yeah, I mean, for Sean McVay, this is his first loss in the NFC Championship game in three other tries. He won it 4 years ago against the 49ers, and the other time they beat the Saints on that phantom missed call, pass interference call by the Saints, which should have been PI, and the Rams should have lost that game. But yeah, but yeah, but I'm taking a look at some of these stats from today's game as
Okay, but B dog, hold on.
professor.
When Copper made that catch with Seattle, if the round should have challenged that call should have been overturned because he was short of the market.
Right.
But you know what? It's football. Everybody's human. They make mistakes.
Yeah,
You
it
live, you
happens.
learn. Yeah, it happens. Sometimes you got to learn what you do next time.
Rams are 2 out of 3 in red zone, 4 out of 5 for the time of possession. 31 minutes 50 seconds for the Seahawks. Rams 28 minutes and 10 seconds. Take a look at some of the team stats from this game, and take a look at some of the stats of the game. Boy, the Rams outgained Seattle plus plus 17. They had 479 total yards of offense to the Seahawks 396. These teams
Well,
had probably over close to almost 900 yards in total offense, and
I
then
can say one thing.
yep,
The coach for the Rams, he wasn't thinking when he should have been in the right place. But I'm gonna say one thing. Sound Darnold, the quarterback, he
this
bounced around
quarterback,
from team to team. But you know what? He came to Seattle and he's saying, "Look, you got me. I'm taking my team to the Super Bowl.
yep,
Y'all never should give up on me." So the
yeah, but I
Panthers,
think
the Jets, and the
the Minnesota
Niners gave
Vikings.
up on him.
Why the Vikings gave up on him? I mean, I wish he was still with Minnesota.
Because he
Kenny
drafted J.J.
Walker,
McCarthy from the University of Michigan.
yeah, Walker was 19 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. And then Sam Darnold's final numbers: threw for 346 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Jackson Smith Njigba, 10 catches, 153 yards and a touchdown. He was targeted 12 times. Puka Nakua, who's going to get some votes for Offensive Player of the Year, 9 catches, 165 yards and a touchdown in the losing effort. The veteran Davante Adams, 4 catches for 89 yards and a touchdown for the Rams. And then, you know, it was for the for the trying to find out what they're, and then for the rushing, Blake Corum, 9 carries for 55 yards. Kyron Williams, 10 carries for 39 yards as well. So this was a great game. They were able to survive that game. As we look forward towards the NFC, what do you think about Seattle's outlook with as them going to the Super Bowl? We're gonna have about 2 weeks to dissect this, to dissect the two matchups, the rematch of Super 49.
Well, I could say that the Seahawks haven't faced the Patriots this year. But knowing the Patriots' way, they will try to come up with a different kind of defense and offense for Seattle. But Seattle got stuck in comfortable with always going to their main guy. Like Jackson Smith, he's a great receiver. He's a very good receiver. Have the possibility, chance to maybe go to the Hall of Fame as the year goes on. But Seattle
Right.
depends on him a lot.
Yep.
So if he gets hurt, won't get hit, he might be down for a minute. Not saying
Right.
that's going to happen, but it's a possibility. He's a great receiver. They use their running back, Walker the third. Uh, he's good too, but they're gonna depend on him a lot for the Super Bowl, and they need to be able to switch things up. So nobody don't be focused on him and Jackson Smith.
Yep.
But
And
the
yep, the defense.
defensive wise,
Hmm.
go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, their defense remind me of the Ravens. To bring that, I think that 3-4 defense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but McDonald came from the Ravens.
Right. The same system the Ravens used with their defense. That's the same thing they're using with Seattle.
Yep.
And then
But you know how they play the games. They probably got a big old playbook like Yay said, and they use so much play for certain games. Like when the new games come up, you got some more plays coming out nobody never seen.
yeah. Yeah, so then let's now recap the Patriots Broncos, the early game, 10-7. It was like a good old defensive battle, like a pitcher's duel down out in the Mile High in Denver. Defense win championships, and the Patriots 10-7. Drake May threw for 86 yards, and then it was Rumdador Stevenson 25 carries for rush for 71 yards. Drake May added another 65 yards on the ground, and
But
they had the one
kicker
touchdown
missed a
was
field
by
goal.
Drake May, and then their kicker, trying to look.
The Broncos kicker missed a field goal,
Yep,
and
Will
that
Levis.
could
He
have
was 0
died
for
the
2. He
game.
was 0 for 2 in field goals. Andy Borgels went 1 for 3 in the snow. So that was the difference. We all talk about special teams for special needs. Is the difference between wins and losses, especially up to this point in postseason. But of course, the Broncos were without Bo Nix, who broke his foot last Saturday in that playoff game. And who knows if he didn't get hurt? Who knows? The outcome would have been different. But what a turnaround story for the New England Patriots. Uh, they had missed the playoffs from the time they had missed the playoffs at 2020, 21, or 2020, 21, 2,
Should have been
3,
Tom Brady. Yeah.
4. They missed the playoffs in 4 of the previous 5 years going into this season. And this was only their second playoff appearance since the post Tom Brady era. But you brought in Matt Vrabel, which I always say was a big mistake of the Titans letting him go. But Matt Vrabel bringing back the Patriot way. And what a turnaround season for the Patriots. They're back in the Super Bowl for an unprecedented 12th time in franchise history. Now, you remember, this was the Patriots 1985. We were kids. We were like 8 and 9 years old. You know, tomorrow marks the 40. It was 40 years ago in this month when the Patriots won their first ever trip to the Super Bowl as a wild card with a convincing 31-14 win over the Dan Marino high-flying Miami Dolphins at the Orange Bowl. The Patriots won their first conference title game as a wild card, and they lost to the Bears. But then after that, they won an AFC East title. Then things slowly started to get bad, and then by the early '90s, they struggled, and then it was Bob Kraft who bought the team in 1994. And I always say it was Bill Parcells and Drew Bledsoe let that bridge gap from that team in '96 to the Belichick Brady dynasty up to this point, because there was a lot of uncertainty with the Patriots in the early '90s prior to Parcells going there. Because if it was, I
Well,
always say, yeah, if it wasn't for Bill Belichick or for Parcells and Drew Bledsoe, none of this never happened. The franchise is not even in New England. They never get that stadium. There's no Brady, no Belichick. I think the Patriots would be out of the Massachusetts playing elsewhere.
well, Brian, you know, every team, eh, no matter what sport, go for the ups and downs.
That's right.
The
I've seen it
Giants
with
did
the
it.
Niners.
The Cowboys did it.
Yep.
Lakers, Warriors,
Yep.
and sometimes the players who free agents don't come to that team that's rebuilding. They want to think about money. Well, okay. Back in the day, it wasn't about money. Back in the day, it's about winning.
Yep.
Nowadays, players is about free agency. Oh, who got the most money? I want money before winning.
Yep.
Then they get the money, they play for that team, they get hurt. There's no loyalty. Players these days don't think about winning. They think about money, money, money. You win, you get your endorsements, you get more money. But you just go for the money first. Stuff happens where
Language.
you don't make it. You don't necessarily make it. Look, it took Tom Brady, it took Drew Bledsoe to get hurt one game for Tom Brady to step in to take over the Patriots.
Yep.
If everybody will remember correctly, Bill Parcells was the head coach of the Giants. Bill Belichick was his assistant coach with the Giants as a defensive coordinator or linebacker coach.
Romeo
When Bill
Cornell was on Bill
Belichick got
Parcells.
drafted to the
Romeo.
Browns.
Yep. Romeo Cornell was on
Huh?
Bill Parcells' staff though too.
Also, but remember, back in the day, Bill Belichick was under Bill Parcells, and he was the coach with the Giants. Bill
Yep.
Belichick got hired by the Browns, and I believe the Jets.
Yep.
He got fired from both jobs. But the Patriots took a chance on him.
Yep.
They drafted Tom Brady.
Yep.
Bill Belichick had a right offensive coordinator, Jeff McDonald,
Yep. And
to
Josh
groom Tom
McDaniels.
Brady.
Yep.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels, sorry. My bad for saying John. It's Josh McDaniels. But they groomed Tom Brady to learn the system, and they built the system around him.
Yep.
So he goes out there, him, Bill Belichick, is on the same page about what plays we're going to do on offense. That what made
Yep.
Tom Brady Tom Brady. And Tom Brady worked hard at it. He didn't just, oh, I'm the first round draft pick. He was a 6th round draft pick, 199th pick, roughly.
Yep. Yep.
Am I right, Brian?
Yep.
But you know what? He listened. He learned under Drew Bledsoe. Then he got that one chance. He took over. That was it.
Yeah, like they say, the rest was history. So,
Yep.
so now let's as we look at the so now let's talk about the 49ers. What are your thoughts on the Niners this year? You know, after the rough year last year, coming off that heartbreaking loss to the Kansas City Chiefs again, the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I tell you, staff, that was when we were over at Tom's house watching that Super Bowl. I mean, when they lost it in overtime again, it was like Stone. Tom had his Super Bowl party, had that Super Bowl party, and
Oh, Brian, please, I'm ready to talk about this. I'm ready to talk about this, Brian.
I mean,
Okay. Sorry, I'm loud. No, this is live broadcast. As many of us know, podcasters, the Niners, they got their butt kicked by a better team, got
They
out
did.
coached by a better coach. And no one should disagree on me about that. But Andy Reid knows how to take a quarterback who's bad and make him good.
Yep.
Take a good quarterback and make him a very good quarterback. You give him a very good quarterback, he's gonna make him a superstar, and that's it.
And Andy, people forget, and you forget, Andy Reid actually coached at SF State years ago.
Yeah. Oh wait, don't forget who was his mentor and taught him everything.
Mike Holmgren, who was a Lincoln High
Hold
graduate.
on, hold on, hold on. Wait, but before that, Bill Walsh.
That's right, the West Coast offense.
So,
Him,
but Bill
Mooch,
Walsh taught Andy Reid. When he taught Mike Hogan, we taught Mike Shanahan, who's
and
on
John
coach the
Gruden.
Niners now. Now Shanahan. Bill Walsh taught everybody how to do things,
Yep.
and everybody just took it and made it better. Andy Reid, damn, I don't, what did you say? Andy Reid just did it. Took
The
Michael
West
Vick,
Coast,
came from
the
the
West Coast conference, the West Coast offense is like you got to memorize that playbook. A it's like going through your law SAT exams. You're gonna be you'll be studying in that study hall till the cows come home, learning everything from that playbook.
That's true. I mean, some coaches tried it,
Sean Payton ain't no joke. He will make you remember it right there off the bat.
and
But
guess what?
another guy I like also who's back with the Chiefs, um, who's going to be the offensive Eric Bieniemy. Played at
Great running back
Colorado,
from the University of Colorado.
was one that helped Colorado win this program's get at least a share of the national championship back in 1990, which
So,
they,
so
which I
true.
think Notre Dame got robbed of with that controversial punt return, got wiped out by Rocket Ishmael's punt. Well, Rocket Ishmael's punt return got wiped out because of that controversial clip penalty, and then they split it with Georgia Tech, and their head coach was Bobby Ross, who coached Eric Bieniemy in the Bolts' last Super Bowl appearance against, for everybody in the
The
Bay Area,
49.
your 49ers, not yours, staff, but your 49ers for all the listeners at home, wherever they're listening, watching this podcast. And he was Eric Bieniemy is no joke. He is an in your face. He's gonna hold them to a high standard. Eric Bieniemy.
True. That's how it's supposed to be. As a coach, as a coordinator, when somebody makes a mistake, you got to get on them. Okay, you know how to run this play. You block this person, you block this person, the host should be right there for the running back to run. Or when you pass blocking, the quarterback should have 5 seconds or less to throw that ball to the first target or second target. But when they mess up, they're holding them accountable because it's a team game. One person making a mistake can mess up the whole thing. Like, Brian, when you play football, if I'm blocking for you, I'm holding somebody, but you made a touchdown. What's going to happen? That holding penalty is going to call a touchdown back, and you're going to be mad at me for doing that.
That's right.
It's a team game. I got to make
Yeah.
sure I block my guy clearly. You run your hole, touchdown.
Yeah. I think, it's not just about playing tag football, catching. You got to do more. You got to block. You got to stay in your lanes. If you're playing special teams for special needs, you got to be one of the gunners, though.
And a lot of players know that, but I think some players these days get too lazy and too comfortable. Like, okay, I can just do this, don't have to do
The gunners
everything.
is like the
But
gunners are protecting, or they're going after the returner.
gunners could be anybody on the team. You got the gunners that's like not to return it. You got the gunners that's going to protect. You got the gunners going to try to block the punch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I
But
remember that was one of the things what happened with the Niners last year. They let one of them gunners bust it through and had a punt blocked.
I mean, there's a lot of players that play special teams very well, and that made the All Pro team as a special teamer. Like Steve Tasker at number 89 from the Buffalo Bills. He
Oh,
was the best teamer,
yep. He called them.
and he did
He
his
called the
job.
Bill. He called the Bills out the other day. He was calling them out. If I could find if I could find that video, if I could just find that clip, I played on my podcast the other night when he called out the Bills when they lost that heartbreaker to Denver. Everybody blaming of the rules and all that stuff. I said, I'm gonna let you listen to this clip right now. This was from the other day on Totally Buffalo
Where Sean McDermott has taken this,
about Sean Mc.
which is fast. I mean, all of us have seen it and lived it and enjoyed it and reveled in it. It has been awesome to go through it with Sean McDermott. But the final 2% is 100% of what they're missing. You don't go into the playoffs as the 6th seed when you got Josh Allen and these guys, and Terry alluded to it. It's in the little things in the regular season where you don't turn the ball over 3 times to the New England Patriots and lose the division in week 5. You don't go into the Miami Dolphins, a team that is absolutely hot garbage, and show up flat and lose another game and don't score for 3 quarters. And you end up being a 6th seed when in all rights you should have been the 1 seed. That's the difference in the hump. It's not one last call in the second playoff game you've had to play. It's playing good 18 weeks of the regular season, including the bye week, and nailing that. And it's getting there in the best shape you can possibly be. The difference between...
He had right. What are your thoughts about that prime time?
I'm speechless because he is speaking the truth.
Preach, preach, preach.
Because when you play the first game, that first game to the playoff game to the Super Bowl, you got to play the game all the way. Okay, 100%, no turnovers. Everybody accountable for what they need to do. If you're a lineman, do your job. You're the quarterback, do your job. You're the special teamers, do your job. You're the practice, do your job. Deion Sanders said it best. At practice, I treat it like I'm playing. Wait, hold on. At practice, I treat it like I'm playing the game. So when I'm playing the game, I treat it the same way. Don't act like, oh, it's practice like gas. No, practice 110%. Game 110%. Guess what? 110%.
Yep, yep, and he was right. He was right. He was right because with the Chiefs had their down year, and for this to happen to the Bills, think of it, had they took care of business against the Patriots the first go around in New England early in the year, and they beat an inferior Dolphin team. It's a complete mess. Tyreek Hill was out the year when he just shattered his leg. I mean, I hope he gets. I don't like to see no good players go down with season-ending injuries like that, catastrophic injuries.
Nobody does.
It breaks my heart because when you're grinding like that, you put all those hours and stuff, but to and then to lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in the next to last, I think it was the next to last week of the season up in Buffalo, where they went to go for that 2-point conversion and failed where they should have gotten to tie it. It all catches up with you at the end, and the question, and then they lose that heartbreaker lose to Denver, and they were -5 in the turnover takeaway giveaway ratio. Allen throws 2 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles, just not taking care of the football properly, especially in a single game elimination. The finality, it's going to end in bitter disappointment. And, where the Bills go from here? I mean, the question, let me ask you now, with the Patriots, who deservingly won the AFC East, or I should say the Bills gave them the AFC East, and now representing the AFC in the Super Bowl, and that again for the 12th time in franchise history, 12th time in the last 40 years. Can you believe that this time? It doesn't feel, be honest, it doesn't feel, I don't feel 1985 not long ago.
1985, I can't remember what happened in 1985. Don't think I remember the Bears the Super Bowl shuffle made a video for that. I remember that.
Me too.
But the
And
Patriots, remember, they had Tom Easton as the quarterback. Wasn't the best.
Stanley
Who the wide
Morgan,
receiver?
Stanley Morgan,
Nobody.
Craig Stanley Morgan, number 86. Stanley Morgan was
Yeah,
their wide receiver. You had Craig Jabes
yeah,
running back. Andre Tippett, the Lawrence Taylor of the AFC, the all-pro linebacker.
oh yeah. But see, remember back then that was good. But the Bears, it was just more. When they came out, they hit harder, played better, more hungrier. They had a coach who didn't care about what happens. He would go off on anybody. They had a quarterback who didn't care. He just played the game to win. They had the
The
greatest
veteran
running back of all time, Walter
the veteran
Payton.
backup Steve Grogan, and you had Raymond Berry, who was a protege of Don Shula.
Yeah, but look, the Bears are better. They
Like, of
have Mike
course, yeah,
Singletary, the refrigerator, playing
yeah.
fullback lineman. They have Walter Payton, sweetness. You get that man the ball, he just magic. Like, let's go. I'm done. But get credit to the Patriots made it there. They beat the Dolphins. A lot of people thought the Dolphins would go back to the Super Bowl that year, but they didn't. They should have, but they didn't. But back then, the Bears is just better. But I think the Patriots understood what they need to do. They need to rebuild, rebrand. They did it.
These teams rebuilt real quick. Like the Seahawks, they retooled and rebuilt real quick. The Niners are going to have to do similar what they did, like their counterparts did back 40 years ago in '86. The '86 draft was very vital. That 1986 draft, when they had drafted Charles Haley, a Hall of Famer, they had Tim McKyer and Don Griffin. And then you had Steve Wallace and another an unheralded wide receiver from Delaware State, John Taylor, who was going to be a huge key of the Niners' run of the late '80s, the touchdown game winner, which is still my favorite Super Bowl of the '80s, when the Niners beat the Bengals in Super Bowl 23. And then, he was the guy, because the Niners was going to transition from those players when they won the first two Super Bowls from guys like Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon, Keith Fonhorse, Fred Dean, and Wendell Tyler, and meaning they're going to draft Tom Rathman as a fullback. Roger Craig was going to move from fullback to being a full-time halfback, full-time running back. And then you had some
Russ
others.
Preston, John Frank, the tight end.
Yeah, I made up John Frank 86 tight end jersey. That shows you I'm a faithful. But then,
Brian, you're very faithful, Brian. You are very faithful, Brian.
yes, but until that, and then they build that draft, and people, the build that draft in '86, and then '87 they bring Harris Barton. Then Bill Romanowski comes in his rookie year in '88. Those are the guys that helped the Niners win back-to-back Super Bowls. And John Taylor really had some big games over the years.
True.
If they could get if they could get that offensive lineman and get a playmaker at wide receiver and get some depth at tight end until George Kittle be ready to play, I think the Niners can definitely challenge for the top spot in the NFC West next year.
For that to happen, they need to tank the whole season. Go 0-16 like the Raiders does all the time. Well, maybe
we don't tank.
We don't
tank. No, don't tank. You can't tank. You can't do that. I don't like tanking. No, I'm serious. But what your thoughts?
Talk to the Raiders about that. That's what the Raiders do every year. Oh, let's just tank this year. That's what the Raiders do. I think.
What are your thoughts about the Raiders,
But,
where the dismal state they have been over the last 2 decades?
They need better ownership. They
Correct.
need an owner that's willing to spend money willing to be patient with the head coach they hired.
Player development.
Exactly. They need to get a quarterback that they can develop.
I
Look
like
at the
that kid
Niners.
from Indiana. From Indiana, and my boys, the Hurricanes, they balled out. I'm proud of the University of Miami. They balled out last Monday night in that bowl game.
I'm shocked my result. Well, you know what? Congratulations to Indiana.
Yep.
Go Hoosiers. I used to live out there for a hot minute. Um, they love their baseball, they love their basketball and football team. And that was good for them that they won the championship. Get them back on the national map. Like, hey, come here, you can win. Whether it's
Yep.
basketball or football or whatever sport.
Yep. And then
Miami, it was great for them to go back to the championship. Because they had Ray Lewis down there and Mike Irvin supporting them. So
yep.
get all the people in back in Florida going, it's all about the you, baby. About the you. Not the old school you, but the new school you.
I told everybody the Miami Hurricanes were the 49ers of college football during the 1980s. And I watched them
Yes.
play one time. I think they played Oklahoma for the national championship on New Year's Day '88. And I said, I like this team. And then 2 years later,
Hey,
they put Miami played Bama in the Sugar Bowl New Year's night 1990, and then Notre Dame, Colorado didn't take care of business against Notre Dame, beat Colorado, and as a result, Miami won the national championship.
like you say, it's
And
all
the
about the
same
you.
in that same building, in the Superdome, about 3.5 weeks later, Niners were in there in late January, whooped up on the Denver Broncos to win the Super Bowl. So that's the
Oh, that was a great game. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Denver, just crying.
well. The next time the Broncos got the Super Bowl, Elway had a bare supporting cast. I mean, subtract Bobby Humphrey and Sammy Winder, Terrell Davis, Howard Griffin, Shannon Sharp, and Ed McCaffrey and Rod Smith.
But he got his Super Bowl rings. That's all
Yep,
the thing.
yep. I think Mike Shanahan will ultimately get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. 2 Super Bowl wins, and brought that system from to Denver,
Bill
and
Walsh.
Bill Walsh system to Denver. And beat another Bill Walsh protege, Mike Holmgren, in that Super Bowl. It was
Cost people a lot of money. It cost people a lot of money in that game.
yeah. But we gotta talk about what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. How they're going to challenge the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC East next.
Okay. Jerry Jones needs to hire a real general manager and just be the owner. Don't be afraid to spend money to win. You spend money, you win, you get the players to come. Take care of the players you draft to your team before you sign some big marquee free agents. I mean, Prescott, he's a good quarterback, but Josh Allen bringing the Bills to the Super Bowl, the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes bringing the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. Drake May got the Bills. I'm not the Bills. The Patriots going to the Super Bowl. And what is Prescott doing?
On the
He's staying at
couch.
home
On the
on the
couch.
couch. Talking to his wife. Said, "Oh, baby, next year we'll be back there. I hope. Don't
Yep.
hope. Do it.
Yep.
Tell.
I
Hey,
tell
hey, hey
I
Jerry.
kept on telling you
I'll
for a
put.
long time. I tell Cowboy fans, hey, Jerry Jones, he gotta stop. He gotta just be an owner like Jed York and quit calling the shots. You cannot be an owner and general manager. It will not work. I've I've preached this for numerous years. It's not gonna work.
True.
I mean, and you know, you know, you know, I mean, every time when the Cowboys win or when they lose, it's always him on the mic. It's always like a ship show circus.
Well, though, what though? He's making himself look like a fool. You telling all the Cowboy fans, I promise you get better. We will get better. Oh, and he's talking about before he died, you know how more Super Bowl wins in history? Well, time is ticking. It is what? January 25th, 8 o'clock at night. Do
He,
something right.
yep,
Like, get a general manager. I mean, if you get a Sean Payton or Andy Reid and they want to have control of the team, let them. Because they will bring you a playoff team that will go to the Super Bowl and possibly win it.
yep,
It's about winning. Now I'm
yep,
not staying at home, sitting on the couch.
yep, yep, yep.
Brian, me and you went to same high school. Every year we had a great team. But every year our team didn't go to the playoff. But
Both
what did we
football
do?
and baseball.
Yes, both sports. We didn't reload. We just rebuild. Like, oh, we need a pitcher. Oh, we got a pitcher right here. Let's go for it. We need a third baseman. Go for it. I will remember when Chris Pratt was the pitcher and Pat Kennedy was a freshman. Guess what? Chris Pratt was the starter. Once he graduated, Patrick Kennedy came over and became the main starter.
He could throw. Oh, I didn't. I never told you this, Pete. Or in case you missed it, you know he got inducted to the Washington Hall of Fame. Him and Jason Cooley.
Congratulations.
Him and Jason Cooley. We were like a couple of almost 3 years ago. That was like the happiest night because then we celebrate kind of our 30-year reunion, winning my first championship. Patrick Pat won. He won one over there at Roosevelt. So 90, 91, 93, 4 times in 5 years.
Yeah, Brian, when he won that Roosevelt, guess what school he beat? It was on that team. Benjamin Franklin Wildcats. Who played outfield? Oh wait, I did.
Did you?
And
How
guess
did
what?
you? How did you do against Pat when he pitched?
I ain't gonna tell you about that. That's
Well,
off the record. I'll tell you.
okay, we'll
Here's
keep.
this like this. He, Pat Kennedy is a great pitcher. He knew how to locate and do his job. He made batters think like it's here, it's there,
Yeah,
and mess up the timing.
yeah.
And this is somebody who played against him in middle school and watched him play in high school. And he was that pitcher that
Let me ask you this though. Even though this is Niners Radio Live and this is Satellite Digital Media is our main hub of the association. Who would be your true if you pick two leaders, one for baseball at Wash and one for football at Wash? Who would it be? A true leader who leads by example.
on baseball, I gotta say co-leaders
That's fair.
because there's a few players that they led their own way. It's like they in football, I will say two in football also. Just because I seen them, I watched them, and they did it.
Yep.
They didn't just talk about they did it. Like let's go, one play, hit and run, hit and run. For baseball, I would say it was Chris Pratt and Patrick Kennedy. So Chris Pratt was a senior. Wait, hold on. Don't get Tom Kennedy because he was like the our second ace. When they like sweep somebody 2-0, we did 2 games win. Chris and Tom Kennedy. Chris Pratt and Tom Kennedy. Take care of it. But I also gonna say Pat Kennedy because when he had another picture, he was the one that would help.
Yep.
So those three, Tom, Chris, and Pratt.
My two leaders for baseball and football, and totally hands down. For baseball was Patrick Kennedy. He was the true leader, and my other leader, true leader for football, Vernon Pope.
Vernon Pope is my football leader because and my boy DJ Vern P. Because
He was the
I had
Patrick
a
Kennedy of football, and the reason why in his sophomore year they lost all those players from that '92 team that lost to Galileo by a point, or Vince Scully would say they just came up just a buck short in that Turkey Day. And 1992-93 was a great sports year for Washington sports, both fall and spring. Varsity were co-league champs for the regular season, co-champs for the regular season with Galileo, the classic uh, tie. There was the overtime system didn't come into play yet in high school, and then the JV team were co-champs with they shared it, I believe, with McAteer, and both the only league loss was to Lowell, which that team ended up winning the title after me and you graduated. But the league, but and then Varsity wins their second city section title in 3 years, and we cruised to that league championship outright in '93. Unlike '94, we had to do it the hard way. Stafford to win it. The whoop. Remember when we whooped? Wash whooped up. We whooped up on Lowell so bad over at we clowned them jokers. They always talk crazy on that dugout. They got some good players, but they run their mouth. And I know a cool friend. She graduated for Lowell. I'm not going to mention her name, but I remember that time we whooped up on them so bad in that championship. Everybody out there, right field, that whole little section, that whole student body, all those student athletes was quiet that whole afternoon.
I put like this. That's like the Niners playing the Raiders. Low was the Raiders. Wash was the Niners. They talk Raiders fans like talk the most trash, but Wash we whipped Low's ass. I mean, sorry, we beat Low's
Donkey.
butt,
Yeah.
and we just a better team.
Yeah.
I mean, look, but going back to what you asked about football leaders,
Yeah.
Vernon Pope is an awesome quarterback. I
He
played
was
with
he
him.
was Yep. He was our Colin Kaepernick, our Michael Vick when running to that
No,
option.
he was him before they came out.
That's what that's what I'm saying. He was Wash's version of Michael Vick and Colin Kaepernick.
No, because he knew how to throw the ball. He was precise with his throw, and he knew how to lead the team. Like when he talked to you in the huddle, you want to let's go.
Yeah.
Like let's go, let's do it.
Yep. We're 8:26. I got to do this. We're at a time now at 8:26, 26 minutes past the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. We're on 49ers Live Championship Sunday edition on 49ers Live, Niners Radio 49. Professor B with my special guest, Washington graduate class of 94, Stafford Primetime Parker. Recapping, in case you just missed it, the Seahawks defeated the Rams in the NFC Championship game up at Lumen Field. They're back in the Super Bowl for the first time in more than a decade, fourth time in franchise history. The Seahawks are in the Super Bowl since divisional realignment. So that's how far we have come so far. Both the Seahawks celebrate. We're both born in 1976, the year both the Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers came into the National Football League. Wow.
Ryan, we are old.
Yeah, wait till late October,
Ryan,
about what 9 months from now when you hit that 5-0.
what me? No, I'm about to be 21 again. I'm about to be
No.
21 again. I ain't even 5-0. I'm gonna be 21 again.
Hey, but you know hey, You got to stretch more. You got to just got kind of get those aches and pains. You got to got to stretch out more. Got to do a lot of yoga. Got to keep up with the times though. But and
Think that's
another
why
thing,
ibuprofen.
yeah, I also got to cut down the sugar. But the best sugar, not the best chocolate is better than milk chocolate. Dark chocolate.
Hey, guess what? We both like dark chocolate.
Yep, dark chocolate. Uh, no, if you want a soda, don't drink the sugary ones. Try zero sugar. Drink a lot of water. Basics.
Hey,
Because
zero
we're up.
diet coke is the best.
Yeah, but we have to be careful because we both have to go up for colonoscopy eventually. And that's the serious. I know this is a family show, but this is the reality of it, though. Because if I ever want to do those road trips and treat you to a 49ers Cowgirls game or Cowboys game, I gotta be on very tip top shape.
Brian, I will treat you to a Dodgers whooping the Giants behind game at Dodger Stadium. Hey, look, get
I
my
don't
bat
think
ready too.
I don't think I won't be going back to Dodger Stadium anytime soon. I went there once with Patrick and Ashley and the boys a few years ago. And I think one time, it's funny. Even though we're on the on our sister network as 49ers radio time is at 8:29, 1 minute before the bottom of the hour of 8:30. Uh, we went down there. Went down to visit him like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Did a little movie, Dodger Stadium, and the minute I check out those bleachers, as I enter into those bleachers, Mookie Betts hits a home run. Just as I just got in there, it was like, man,
Number 50.
yeah.
Oh, wait. We turned 50 years old this year. That's so perfect. Who did that for you before your 50th birthday?
The only jersey I'll wear at 50 would be former Giants great Scott Gurelt's. But
I don't buy you Mookie Betts t-shirt.
never. I would. But but yeah, but I think the 49 but looking at the 49ers needs they need offensive line, they need a playmaker wide receiver. I would also look at get another tight end, and then I say the draft and try to get a if it comes at the right price. How about what are your thoughts about Mac Jones this year for the 49ers when he filled in for Brock Purdy?
Sign him to extension and see what team will might be willing to draft for a trade for a quarterback. Because he did good and won some games for the Niners. So I mean, sign him, try to keep him, and if you can trade him and get a draft pick or two or back for another player maybe.
I think not only two picks. I mean, you're looking for at least 3 picks, maybe 4. I think for at least 2 picks, maybe 3. If the price, like they say, he's yours if the price is right.
That's true.
Yep. So, and then yeah, and then also and Ricky Pearsall, not a bad receiver, but he just got he's like the 10 man. No. I'm not gonna call him the 10 man. That's not fair. No, because he did get shot, and down there downtown the city, and not a good thing.
Union Square.
Down at Union Square, that was an awful thing. It's funny. Me and my church, we were at the Giants game at our suites by over a year and a half ago, where word came down he got shot down there, and I had to do my special report at the Giants game for Niners Radio 49. Hey, I'm on it. I'm on it all day. No messing around. I get I'm trying to get some people to come on during the week of the Super Bowl, even though the Niners are not in it, but we're gonna be doing Super Bowl coverage and some other activities around the city. So I'm pushing my platform, trying to get some revenue coming in. If I can get that extra revenue, I'm hoping that because Well, you know the Niners are going to play the Cowboys. They're in Big D next year. They're in Dallas next year. They're going to
Oh, and
Dallas.
Brian, I'd love to come back and bring shows in. Um, but let me go back to Dallas. You already know what I'm gonna say. You already know what I'm gonna talk about.
Hmm.
I'm still gonna talk about Jerry Jones not being the worst owner, not a great general manager. He needs to just send to the side.
Have you ever been to Dallas?
And Brian, I've been to the old stadium and to the new stadium. I I was on the star and I kissed the star.
And how was your experience
I
in Big D?
lovely down there. They treat me with respect. The stadium is beautiful. The star is gorgeous. I love the star so much, Brian. I got sandals on right now that says Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. Any good barbecue?
Huh.
What's the best barbecue? Barbecue? Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
See,
Nice.
Dallas Cowboys. Nothing touch my feet but Nikes or Dallas Cowboys stuff.
Yeah. Hey, some barbecue. You got some
But
barbecue. You got some barbecue. You ever try some? What's some great place to have food down there? Barbecue brisket down in Texas, though.
there's this one that was at the old stadium. It was so good. You take one bite, the meat fell off the bone.
You
I can't remember the name of it.
get some mac and cheese with that too.
Hot water cornbread, mac and cheese, and rice and beans.
Woo!
It was like,
If I was eating that, I was eating that, man. I'd be going to the beach doing my walk and run. I'd be burning out for hours though in the fog though. Got to, got to.
you got to. But you know what though? I don't say this. Down there, they do respect people from California. They respect you, support your team, but don't disrespect the star.
That's right. Hey, they got a lot of cowboy chapters here in the state in California too. Just like
That's true.
Niner 49ers, they got chapters down in Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio. They people I'm networking with. I've seen video people drive when they went to the Niner Falcon game or the Titans game. They were driving from Memphis, drive all the way down to Atlanta, and they even got Niner fans in New York and Philly. It's all over the globe, and even in the UK.
Man, there's Niners fans, Cowboys fans. Sorry to say this, but Patriots fans spread out the whole country, spread the whole world. I got friends. They live in Africa. Guess what? They're the Cowboys. I got one friend. He lives in China. He loves the Niners.
I got this guy named Lee Gallen. He does a podcast. He's from the UK. He's a big 49er fan since the mid 80s. I've been on his show a couple of times, and then he came out here to the Bay Area to see the 49ers, and every time they came out late for Thanksgiving, he watches the Turkey Day game, and he go over to the Kezar Pub and watch the Dallas Cowboy game. He's a big Niner fan. I ran into him a few years ago. They were over there at this event for people for a good proceed benefit. I interviewed Mark Clayton, and Mark Duper was in the Bay Area when the Niners were
Wait,
playing the
Mark
Miami
Clayton,
and Mark
number
Duper.
85.
Yep, it was a party. It was a
Mark,
good donation, and John Taylor and Eric Wright was there. I interviewed both Mark Clayton and Mark Duper, talk about that '84 Miami Dolphins team. People forget, Stafford, and I never told you this. My very first Super Bowl I ever watched on TV was Super Bowl 19 when the Niners beat the Dolphins 38-16.
my first Super Bowl, Brian, was the Niners versus the Bengals.
Oh, not bad. Not
So you
bad.
know what? We are from the same era. We grew up watching when football was football when you could hit a quarterback and don't get penalized.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you hit a quarterback, 15-yard penalty. What the hell? I just pushed him.
All the hits they
Oh,
did back in our day growing up, they couldn't do today.
nope. Look at Joe Montana. He survived. Lawrence
Yeah,
Taylor said it best. We have to hit them. If we didn't
yeah.
hit them, he said, Joe Montana's the GOAT, not Tom Brady.
Patrick Mahomes would have been crying if he got hit by Lawrence Taylor or either Jim Burt or Carl Banks would have lit. He would have been crying. Patrick Mahomes.
Brian, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. I'm even gonna say that. I'm even say that. Any quarterback right now, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, if they would get hit back in the days, they will retire. They will retire early.
Yep.
Now, Josh Allen, he takes a hit and sucks it up. Now, I think that's the only quarterback I could say to this day that could possibly take a hit. Not even Prescott could take a hit.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, these days they break the quarterback too much. Give me a
Yep.
Joe Montana. Give me a Steve Young. Give me a Troy Aikman. Tim Kelly. Bernie Kosar. Take a hit. Got back up like, oh, it ain't nothing. Let's go.
Yep.
They are protecting quarterbacks and wide receivers because I watched the game today, the Seattle game. I seen a few people wide open got the ball for a touchdown or a catch. If that was running loud, being a defender, their bell would have been run and they would have got carried off on the cart.
Yep. 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 Yeah. Also, yeah, as we're talking, talking about franchises been struggling, and about the Raiders, we want to get into the Raiders. It's a sad state of being.
Bro, bro. Oh, God. Oh, man. Never mind. Brian,
Here we go. Got a little technical delay, so don't. So yeah, that happens all the time, though. I should have gave you a heads up. So I was just telling you, the Raiders, in recent times, they've fallen on hard times. The Raiders have now only made the playoffs. They've only made the postseason only 5 times since 1993, and
you
only
know what's so crazy? Tom Brady
what?
made it more than them. They did.
Yeah, yep. They have the worst record in the NFL since 2003, except for Cleveland.
Well, that's not. We can't compare the two because one, Cleveland actually is trying to improve. They got a good quarterback,
Yep.
but they need to. The owners must understand. Give them time to develop. Don't just draft another quarterback and forget about him. Sanders, he can run, he can throw, he can command the team, and he can make the right plays. He needs the chance to show everybody that he can do it.
Right.
The Raiders just get a quarterback. Oh, he don't do good. Let's trade him or get rid of him.
Yeah. They don't develop. They gotta get an offensive minded coach up in there.
No, hopefully, who did an interview so far?
Me?
Brian,
Yeah.
Brian, you didn't talk to the Raiders and say how you as a coach.
I don't want to. I don't want to coach no football. I love doing podcasting.
Brian, think about it. You you got a great mind. You think about protecting quarterbacks, running backs, and making sure everybody running right.
Hmm.
You'll be a great coach, right?
Yeah, thank you. But I think I prefer staying on being a media person. That's my mo.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes. As we look at as we take a look at the we'll get ready to wrap it up in a little bit, but it was a good year for Washington football. They were back in Turkey Day for the first time in more than a decade. Their head coach
Wow.
is Javon Shannon. Love the attitude. They and they're gonna you know yeah and their alumni weekend is gonna be the first Saturday of May. So just give you a heads up.
I'll be down there.
Yep, you let me know. Let me know. Yeah.
Oh, I
So
will let you know.
yeah. Yeah, we keep stuff posted, but it's gonna be yeah, but Niners will play. They get the NFC East next year. They'll go to Dallas. They'll go to New York. The Eagles come out here to Santa Clara and Washington, and then they'll get the AFC West. They'll get the Raiders will come here, and they'll get Denver, and then they'll go to two trips to SoFi next year. They'll go to play the Chargers, and they'll play the Rams in the division, of course. And of course, they will play the Seahawks as the current NFC champions. For now, we'll find out. We'll see what happens in 2 weeks from tonight, whether they'll be Super Bowl champs or not. And then they get the extra game. They'll play the Miami Dolphins. So they get the third place schedule next year. So all is good.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All is good. I'll tell you this. The Niners will beat the Redskins. Definitely the Raiders. Definitely the Dolphins. And the Broncos and the Chiefs.
Dolphins are not. They're a bad organization. They're
They're acting like the
sad.
Raiders right now.
They're like the Raiders' alter ego. You know the Dolphins hadn't won a playoff game since 2000. In fact, the Dolphins have not. The last time the Miami Dolphins were in the AFC, well, the Dolphins have won only just one playoff victory since Dan Marino's retirement.
Wow. You know what? Yeah, they are the Raiders.
Yep, one playoff win. They've won just one playoff game since Dan Marino's retirement, and they have they've gone through like close to and then um yeah, they
Multiple head coaches.
mobile head coaches in the last 3 decades since Don Shula's retirement. Rest in peace, Don Shula. And they're not a good organization right now. I bet you
I mean,
I guarantee you this: Miami Hurricanes will win a national championship for college football before the Dolphins reach the Super Bowl. Well, and hold, we'll even go further than that. The Miami Dolphins last time they hadn't been to the AFC Championship game since 1992, January of '93, when we were both in high school.
damn. That means we
That's
old
crazy.
now.
Oh
That's
yeah,
bad.
these
You know
kids
what?
don't
You
even
know what's
know,
so funny
man.
though?
These kids
You know what's
don't
so
know.
funny? Carolina came out in the '90s, went to the Super Bowl before Miami went back. Jacksonville been to a playoff more than Miami. Am I right? If I'm
Yeah,
wrong, just let me know.
right.
But the Jaguars,
They had a good defense this year. When they came out, they took it to the 49ers in that home opener.
and beat the 49ers.
In the second game after the But let's do this like little pop. The last time, if you're a 49er fan under the age of, you have to be the ones who weren't around or don't remember, at least 30 or 35 and under.
A true 49 fan will try to research the history of the team, understand how the 49ers built their destiny. Eddie DeBarlo didn't care about money. He spent the money. Oh, Jerry Rice, here you go. Joe Montana, here you go. Roger Craig, here you go. Charles Haiti, here you go.
Bill Walsh
To
traded
win.
Jerry Rice in the first round, traded with New England to get ahead of the Cowboys, Dallas to get Jerry
Who's
Rice.
Jerry Rice? And you know what? You got to take a gamble sometimes. Take a gamble, win, you lose. It's a 50-50 chance. Bill Walsh
Same
did
thing in the
right
mid '80s. In
Jerry Rice,
'85, Bill Walsh, after their Super Bowl win, had to get another receiver because Dwight Clark was never the same player after he suffered that knee injury late, I think, in the '83 season against Dallas. I watched that game. He suffered that
no.
knee injury. Wasn't the same player.
But you know what, Brian? They did something right. Draft Dwight Clark. Oh, he got hurt. Draft Jerry Rice. Oh, he needs support. Got Tom Taylor. Oh, wait. Got Terrell Owens and J.J. Stokes. Well, J.J. Stokes kind of blame out.
Yeah. Yep. You know, my sister, Kiana gave me a J.J. Stokes. Remember that J.J. Stokes jersey I had?
Yeah.
That was my first ever 49ers jersey I ever got with that J.J. Stokes jersey.
I
And
think
I
he was
wore
number, what?
83, and I wore that
Yeah.
thing out. I wore that thing out. And then in the years when I had more reached financial flexibility, I've getting jerseys. I like getting the stitched up ones. It lasts
But of course,
forever. And then I finally got my Ricky Waters '94 jersey. I'm gonna eventually get. That's my hobby though, collecting all the jerseys of the history of the 49ers. I'm gonna try to get a John Brody jersey in honor of him. Maybe get a Gene Washington one. Yep,
when
yeah,
Brody passed away, right?
yeah. Brody. He was before the Keys are era. Keys are Stadium in
The original Kezar Stadium, not the new one, the original
the
one.
original Keysar Stadium where we used to go to Camp Mendocino in the summertime, get picked up at the old original Keysar Stadium where the original faithful began.
Brian, don't talk about that. We old now. Come on now.
It's,
We need our
don't worry.
stadium.
We gotta entertain. We gotta entertain,
I know
educate our the new generation.
Camp
But I
Mendocino was fun.
Yep, yep,
We would have archery, horseback riding, have trouts to collect animals. They taught us about responsibilities, how
yep,
to do things right,
yep,
how to be friends with everybody, how to survive in the wood,
yep. This
and
was the
and
original
don't hurt
Survivor.
yourself.
The original
Thank
Survivor.
you, Brian.
Because
Thank you
these
for such a
kids today, these kids today, and it was a sad thing. I go out do my run at the beach a few years ago. They were littering everything. These new they don't pick up on. I had to clean up that beach one day. And it was
Man.
sad. People, and let me keep this off record. There was somebody left their their bra on the beach and etc. etc. So I had to clean up. I mean, it's sad because it really was an embarrassment for our generation. What they taught us though. But the point
Well,
is, but I love going to camp during that time of the year during the summer. That was like going to Camp Mendocino felt like you were up there for like 2.5, almost 3 months because you go out there, leave the city in mid-August. You're there for about 2 weeks.
how about the
You don't
Greyhound
come.
Buster?
Yeah, you don't come back till like the last week of August, midweek, either a Tuesday or Wednesday, leading up towards Labor Day weekend. When you get back a few days later, mom's takes us clothes shopping for back to school. Then Labor Day weekend. It's kickoff of the football on most of those years. NFL kicks off on Labor Day weekend, and then when the Giants are the age or both are in a pennant race when the Niners starts up, it gives us more, and they're playing meaningful games to win a division title. Then it gives us the entertainment.
You live in the dream.
Yeah, I mean, we were blessed to see all that, and we tell these youngsters. I mean, I feel for the kids today who are Niner fans who never seen it in their lifetime. I hear the stories. I mean, because we were. I mean, I know you're a Cowboy fan, but all of us, me and others, Pat, the Kennedys, and all the people we grew up at Israel Smith were Niner fans. From Janice and David, Victor Palmer, and the cast of thousands were Niner fans. We had it made because every year it was for me because my birthday at the end of the year was Christmas, birthday, New Year's. The last gift was when the other gift was my Niners take a deep run in the postseason. Hopefully the ends with a Super Bowl victory at the end of in late January around this time of the year. These kids today, they ask me what's like. They ask me, Professor, what's like when the Niners win the Super Bowl? I tell them all these stories about man. That's why I said when the Niners win this sixth Super Bowl next year or down the road, this would be their sixth. This would be their trophy. It's like me, the Generation X, passing that torch to like my niece and nephews, and passing the torch to this generation. Like Magic Johnson passing the torch to Michael Jordan in the Niners of the '90s when it was the Lakers and the Bulls. I mean, I know you're a big Laker fan, and I always was a Magic Johnson fan.
You know what, Brian? I'll tell you this. Sports these days is not the same.
No. Mm-mm.
Because back in the day, when the players play, they had to earn the money.
They played what they love. They love the game.
They earn the money and they love the game.
You always said that all the time.
They play hurt, no time management, no game management. Look at this: Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird,
Dr. J,
play hurt.
Moses Malone, Patrick Ewing,
physical. Yeah. They get elbow in their face. They just hop back up, act like nothing. Nowadays, elbow LeBron James. He gonna flop on the floor like a fish, crying like, "Where's my call, Ralph? I got hit." LeBron James. Listen, LeBron James. Okay, Brian, I'd rather have you on my basketball team before I have him. At least I know if you get hit, you will stand back up. You might complain to me about it, but you'll stand back up and still play.
Yeah.
LeBron James will act like a fish out of water.
Yeah.
Proven point.
Kobe I like Stephen Curry. I like Curry. Curry's like
Curry's good. But listen to this.
I can't call him Michael Jordan because Jordan never lost the championships, and that's being fair.
That's true.
The equivalent when Joe Montana never lost the Super Bowl.
Hey, wait! Tom Brady lost the Super Bowl, but everyone say Tom Brady's the GOAT. But nigga, please.
Watch it, staff.
Sorry, Brian. You know me. I can be real. You know me. But Brian, we got the
Kobe Bryant. On it.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant towards Achilles tendon. Hop back up and shot 2 free throws and walk off the court.
Yeah.
LeBron James has a leg cramp. He cried like a baby. They had to carry him off the court to the locker room.
Dan Marino blew out his Achilles against Cleveland, missed the rest of the year, and came back even though that Achilles was a really serious Achilles injury.
Yes. And who's that quarterback that broke his leg in the game? That carried by his teammates.
Bo Nix.
No. But he played the game with a broken leg. Dan Fouts, was it?
Yeah.
Broke his leg. His teammates had carried him on the floor.
Yeah, this era is like an era of entitlement, man. Because they like the same stuff that happened at USF, though, where it all started for me, and then unfortunately unended because the kids up there complained, didn't want to work hard in practice, and coach got rid of them, and they did. Unfortunately, Knox did something he had no business. Troy did something he had no business doing inappropriately, and that would caused everything.
Troy's a good guy. I knew him when he was a player there. We hung out, we talked. Troy's a good guy.
And we're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that. But
yes,
but the kids up there complain about it, and Coach always tells me, "B, you would have beaten those players out because I be going in there pain, sore knees, and but I gotta get some better shoes. And I gotta stretch more consistently. So and I gotta limit the sugar intake. So that's on me. So,
but Brian, before you got up there, remember everything out there. I was just a basketball team.
Yep. You were like the
man, and
we go on those hoop games. We were like the pilot before Nino came to the hilltop.
Yeah, and guess what? It wasn't about entitlement. It's about you work hard, you start, you play. You like that, you sit on the bench and play minutes.
Yep.
It's about you might be the 5-star freshman. Don't necessarily mean you need to start.
Yeah.
But if you like Michael Jordan said, these kids think they own it. They are entitled to it. Larry Bird, bad back and all, bust his butt off, started.
Used to be up there shooting, dropping dimes off the court at at the War Memorial Gym Sobrato Center back in the day when the Celtics used to be coming up there when them teams used to come up to USF workout, had their shoot around before they play when they were in town playing the Golden State Warriors later that night out at the Coliseum in Oakland.
I was up there. But you know what though? It was about work hard, and guess what? Play hard.
Yep.
It wasn't about, you're entitled to this. You're the freshman, you want to let you start. You want to be a freshman, you want to start, earn it.
I agree. You got same thing with yep. A lot of these kids, that's what, and I think the good thing I liked when I went back up there to Wash and did PA games for football, I got some of the greatest compliments by the parents. I'll be dropping a lot of stuff from the 80s and 90s, and just they love that. We grew up with that music. We grew up in an era of greatness. We grew up when it was probably the greatest quarterback of our generation, Joe Montana, and he had the greatest wide receiver, Jerry Rice. We grew up with the dynasty of the 80s with the 49ers, the Lakers dynasty, Magic Johnson, Showtime, the greatest artists, Michael Jackson, Prince. And two of my favorites, and the best female artists of the 80s was Madonna, Whitney Houston, Janet Jackson, Anita Baker, and Run DMC. All those
Preach on, Brian.
Yeah. I mean, I look back. It was like that song by Madonna, "Live to Tell." This is, but yeah. Hey, how's everything at home though? How's the wife and the kids doing though?
Everybody's doing good. The wife doing her thing, trying to maintain. My son is playing soccer. I go to my son's soccer team. I love the soccer team. It's like the first game I coached, we lost. Close 0.
How old is he?
My son's 9.
If he could get a strong leg kicker, maybe he could play football, be a kicker.
Brian, I think he'll be a running back. If he plays football, he'll be a running back or tight end.
Okay, I was thinking he could be the next. He could be the next Greg Coleman or Reggie Roby at punter.
Hey, you know what though? There's nothing wrong with that. Know why? When you need to punt the ball and you get that 1-yard line or 5-yard line, they do it.
Greg Coleman, the former Viking punter, he's the cousin of Vince Coleman.
Oh,
Vince Coleman
We know
punted
that.
football at Florida A&M, and then Coleman, of course, got drafted by the Cardinals and stole all
Play
those
baseball, still
bases.
baseball. Hey, they
Yeah,
need the Nationals need a base stealer. So America have Ricky Henderson. They need to Vince Coleman to compare the two.
yeah, yeah. We could save that baseball stuff on our flagship though, because this is a Niners talk. But we even though so we're gonna, yeah, but once I get this thing going and get more sponsors, get more funding, I will expand, have it on satellite digital media as well. We'll have a consistent for our viewers though. But we're now at 3 minutes past the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up. I gotta what like they say, prime time. Like in the name of the great Al Michaels, you have the last word.
I want to be Professor B. Thank you for having me on here. I would love to come back again and do this. This was fun. But Brian, I love your enthusiasm about everything. I love your loyalty about everything. Me, you go way back, like 4 o'clock on the Cadillac.
Yeah.
And tell your mom and dad I said hi. And tell them I said hi.
All right, absolutely, prime time. You're welcome to come on anytime. We're gonna be doing a lot of these podcasts. There's no off season for 49 football. We'll probably do cut it to about cup maybe twice a week doing the once after the Super Bowl. Gotta get ready for the combine, draft, free agencies about a month and a half from now, and then about 12 weeks away to 12 weeks time we have the NFL draft, and then before you know it, the schedules come out. The schedule will be coming out in about 3.5 months though too, when the date and time. So it's never an off season. It's kind of not only on the field where they're resting, recouping, and get ready for the combine, but for me trying to go out to try to improve my podcasting, because I forgot to tell you though, I did get $1,000 grant last not this past October, but in 24. I got some mixed boards and stuff. That's the first step. This is how when Nino rebuilt the USF program. So
Well,
that's
Brian,
the blueprint I'm going with, though. He'll always be my mentor, even though I never got a chance to go to regional, and I know things have been tough for me in recent years since I left USF and didn't turn out well. We all had hope at the end, but I will always love USF. That was like my second family.
the old Dons.
And we went to those games to see Orlando Smart dropping dimes off the perimeter that cold winter night in January.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of like the pilot, a harbinger what was ahead down the road on the hilltop. Well, Stafford, we gotta get ready to wrap it up. The time is now 9:05, 5 minutes past the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. I gotta let you go. I gotta have my dinner, chill, wrap it up, and get ready for tomorrow and everything else. Though, staff, thank you for joining us on 49ers Live tonight,
Let me know
recapping the
anytime you need me. I'll be here.
championship Sunday edition.
All right, I'll be there for you. You need me.
All right, you have a good night, though. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, for sure. Hey, send me a copy of the.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. Definitely will. You will get one.
All
Yep.
right.
Talk to you later. Bye. Have a good
All
night.
right. Bye.
All right. All right, that's Stafford, primetime Parker, longtime friend, a Dallas Cowboy fan. We recapping the championship game. Championship Sunday is over. Two teams have punched their ticket to Super Bowl 60 by the Bay. And a recap of the game. In the game you just saw a little while ago, it was the Seattle Seahawks over the LA Rams up at Lumen Field, up at the formerly known as CenturyLink Field, by a score of 31-27. As the Seahawks will advance to the Super Bowl for just the fourth time in franchise history, the fourth time in the last 20 years that this franchise will be going to the Super Bowl since divisional realignment 23 years ago. They'll take on the New England Patriots, and who defeated the Denver Broncos in a defensive slugfest in the Mile High by a score of 10-7. A rematch of Super Bowl 49, which was 11 years ago, and it was the Patriots beating the Seahawks on that on that questionable call when Russell Wilson threw that interception where they should have gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch that gave the Patriots the victory in Super Bowl 20 or 49 some 11 years ago down at the desert in Glendale, Arizona. And just as always, we'd like to thank you for watching 49ers Live tonight. We'll be back on again tomorrow. We don't know what time we're going to go on. We'll recap. We'll give you the latest news on the 49ers. Get you ready for Super Bowl 60. That will be 2 weeks from tonight. Seahawks and Patriots, Super Bowl 60, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Kickoff time at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can catch that game on the Peacock on NBC Sports and on Peacock. Thank you for watching 49ers Live tonight. And for all the latest on the 49ers, go to 49ers.com. And for now, Professor B signing off, and so long. Thank you for watching 49ers Live tonight, special edition Championship Sunday recap on Niners Radio 49. This special presentation of 49ers Live tonight, Championship Sunday edition, is an exclusive presentation of 49ers Championship Sunday edition, 49ers Live Championship Sunday edition, with yours truly, the Professor, exclusive presentation of Niners Radio 49, where every team is a fan and every fan is a voice, the network home of champions. Wishing you all a very pleasant good night, everybody. Take care.